Welcome to day 3 of this masterclass series, Cracking the Autoimmune Code. I am so happy to be a part of your journey in this week. The last 2 days have been amazing. So you've been waiting for the if you've been waiting for the final day, then welcome. Please share your. Give me 1 second. I think there is an issue with the Facebook. Manoj, can you check if Facebook is working? The Facebook link is working. I'm just going to check. Give me a minute. I think there's an issue with streaming on Facebook. So, Manoj, if you can just drop in the StreamYard link on Facebook. I think there is an issue with the streaming on Facebook today. And if you can just let me know if the Facebook stream is working, and then we will continue. I'm just checking. I don't want my viewers on Facebook to miss out on this amazing session today. And we have two guests who are going to be part of this. I'm going to bring them on right at the beginning. We're going to have a very, I think, a relevant and an important discussion. I am just checking the Facebook link. I think there is. So, Manoj, if you can just let me know that you have shared the link on Facebook, that will be great. Seems to be an issue there. Okay, so yeah, the Facebook link is not working. So Manoj, kindly put in the StreamYard link on Facebook so that we can get going immediately. Yeah. Yes. Facebook is streaming is not working for some reason, but we can watch on StreamYard, so that's not a problem. So Manoj will be sharing the StreamYard link for day 3 on Facebook, so they can also join us. So I'm just going to give them a minute or two. But today we have a lot of things lined up, so I am going to get started. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Yes. So today is day 3, and I'm bringing it all together as we embrace a new path forward, right? So I don't want you to be stuck where you were before, prior to this week, prior to Monday. I want you to be able to move forward. I want you to be able to, I want you to feel empowered and confident that there is a way forward, and it's not something it's maybe something that you did not know of earlier, but now you do. So there is, you should be able to implement some of the things that we have talked about, or at the very least, now you have a roadmap that's going to help you to keep moving forward, right? So I am just going to share. I'm just going to check the link for Facebook so that I make sure that nobody misses out there as well. Give me 1 second. There seems to be an issue there. Yeah. So I don't want anyone to miss out on this amazing session. So I'm going to share it as well. Okay. Great. So this is what we're going to cover today. I have talked about different aspects of autoimmunity, autoimmune disease progression, autoimmune spectrum. But today I'm going to bring it all together. And so this is what we had covered yesterday. In fact, I'm going to bring it all together and, uh, you know, cover some things that are not really talked about much. So I'm going to start with something called inner critic versus inner coach. This is one of my favorite slides in this presentation. I'm going to talk about something that's usually missing from most people's healing journeys, or their toolkit, as I call it, healing toolkit. And I was also going to, of course, talk about the healing toolkit, maybe reasons why it's not working for you. You've been trying different things. And of course, the renew model that I briefly spoke about yesterday, I'm going to talk about a bit more in details, because that's the basis for the autoimmune relief roadmap program that I'm excited about actually talking to you about. It's an amazing opportunity for you to dig deeper into your own health, in a more empowered and confident manner. So that's all coming up right here. So I hope that you've brought some coffee, got some tea, taken out some time from your busy day today, I know. And because I want you to leave day 3 by envisioning a life that goes beyond your illness, like goes beyond your symptoms, right? So, which is filled with growth, wellness, and fulfillment. And also understand the importance of a personalized approach. That is something that is often missing. And of course, community, I'm talking about community. And then if you're ready to take the next step forward, you will have the opportunity to do so at the end of today's session. If you're watching this on replay, you will still have an opportunity to take action. Because there will be time for you to take action, and I'm going to talk about the important dates. But let's start with where are you watching from, and what's your name? I did not ask you at the beginning of the session, so if you can just put it in the comments, your name, and maybe even one key takeaway from this masterclass series so far. And then I will bring up these two amazing women before we keep moving forward. So put down your name and one key takeaway that you've had from this masterclass series so far. I'm going to give our guests time to get ready to come on the stage. We're going to have a short but interesting discussion, and I think an eye-opening discussion of what your path forward can also possibly look like. Right? I want to give you a 360-degree overview. I mean, it's of course I'm giving you a lot of information. I'm educating you about autoimmunity, chronic illnesses, but I don't think that's often enough. It's you need to also feel, and you need to also believe in your body. You need to also hear stories of transformation that they're going to share, and that hopefully will give you the courage to decide what your next step should be. So put down your name, if you're just say hi, and maybe what has been your key takeaway from this masterclass series so far. I'm going to take a sip of water. My throat is still not 100%. While you do that, I'm just going to read out when you put them in. And while you do that, I'm going to bring Palak and Shonali on stage, and we are just going to have a quick discussion. So I'm just going to remove this. Yes. Hi, Palak. Hi, Shonali.
And this
Hi, welcome
morning,
back. Good morning. I just wanted to have before I continue with the conversation, with the presentation for today, I wanted to have a quick, kind of a discussion about some of the things that, most people ask me about, and that I thought that it's best that they hear from from a couple of women who have made this journey with me as their guide. But I think I have made this journey, but I made this journey many, many years ago. Like actually, almost, I started doing this about 10 years ago. And I think hearing from people who have recently undergone this transformation, and, have seen changes and are now convinced that their body actually holds a lot of the answers is amazing. And I wish I had somebody like both of you to sort of give me the hope and the courage 10 years ago. It would have made my life much easier. So I want to give that to our audience here, and that's exactly why I brought you on board. Some of you would have seen them yesterday and day before, and day one and day two. But today, I think I'm just going to we'll quickly sort of discuss a few important aspects. And so let's start with Palak. So Palak, you've shared your story. So I think you've already shared your story, but if you can just share what was your biggest shift or breakthrough, right? When you actually started your journey from where you were, and after that, what was your biggest shift or breakthrough, right? What was it that changed for you, and what is it that made a huge difference?
uh, actually, it was not just health, but like when I told that didn't transform my health, but me whole as an individual. So, and it was not just diet or knowledge; it was more than that. I mean, you helped me overcome my fears and without pushing the limits. Also, I mean, before this coaching sessions, I didn't know that what strengths I have, because while going through the sessions, you like ask us to fill some forms, and we come to know that yes, we have those strengths. So I knew that yes, I have these things in me, but I didn't know that yes. this was a strength that is making me to um, move forward or do the things. um,
So, so
yeah.
strengths, I think strengths is one of the things in our healing toolkit actually. So that's an important point. We don't really know our strengths. Thanks, Palak, for sharing that. Shonali, if you would like to also share what was your biggest shift or breakthrough actually.
I think Palak is right, and I think my journey has been something like that. Complete transformation inside out. I think changing myself as an individual, character strengths is. I think it's one of the biggest things when we know ourselves. It helps us to navigate so many things through our life. Now, one may ask, how is that even related to your wellness and to your health? It is completely related to that because when you know yourself, you're able to navigate stressful situations. Um, I never knew I had so many inner demons inside me until I joined the program, and today
That's right.
exactly. I've come to face that and accept that that is a part of me, and accepting situations the way they are, people the way they are, that reduces your stress level to very larger extent. And believe me, everything is hinged on stress. So you may be having the best of food and the best of supplements. I know I sound like Anandita, but this is what she's told me, that you may be doing it all, the best exercise, resistance training, everything, but if you're stressed, then then it topples the whole the whole thing. So I think understanding yours, I think what this program does is, and it's not just like any other program which is all about, okay, eat, you have a diet chart given and do this, and there's a tick off list, checklist to be done. No, it doesn't work that way. It's You've got to know yourself better to be able to deal with everything, around you. So it's hard to explain and put it on this, this webinar of the transformation both of us have gone through, but it's been tremendous.
Thank you for sharing, Shonali. I think the reason I asked you to ask this specific question is this is the difference between knowledge, which is a big part of it, of course, knowledge and awareness, which is the functional medicine part of it, and the coaching. And Palak will appreciate this more because Palak has actually gone through the entire training, 1 year entire rigorous training program that I went through to become a health coach. She's also a certified health coach now, functional medicine certified health coach, and she's joining the team here. So it's the coaching also that is, that makes a huge difference. It's not enough just to know what you need to be doing. You need to know how to do it. You need to know how to sustain it. You need to know you, and for that, as Shonali mentioned, you need to know yourself. It's not about me giving answers or anybody else giving you answers. The answers have to come from you, and that's when the magic happens, right? And that's what coaching brings about. The answers all come from you. So I keep asking questions. You will see that I keep asking questions here as well. It's through question, and it's not random questions, of course. So it's through questions that those answers that you have been looking for come out from within yourself. That's the power of coaching, right? So I think that's the reason I asked that question. And I think the last thing that I want to ask again is what, you already mentioned this, but what is one piece of advice for somebody who's feeling very overwhelmed? And it doesn't have to pertain to the coaching program per se. I mean, so where you were at the beginning of your journey, what is one thing that, when you look back, that you would have told yourself? So, Palak, again, you can start.
Okay. So I think first we just to take a deep breath. So that is what we have learned in coaching also before starting the coaching. Also, like the coach also has to take a deep breath so that we are fully
Yeah.
present,
Yes.
and that I mean you will get better. Uh, you will get better. I think that you will get better. I mean, that time you feel that why it's happening to me, how it is happening to me, and like is someone who will believe in me, or is there someone who will support me? But uh, but but when I like when I'm standing here and when I look back, so That time I used to think that there's no one who supported me, but when now I know that yes, there was a support, maybe in some or other form, maybe not in the coaching form or in the diet form or uh, so, but in some other form there was a support. So yes, so
Okay.
we will get better.
You will get
I
better.
think
So there is hope. There is hope,
there is hope, right?
especially because you are actually being guided by your own body. You're going within rather than getting or trying to get all the answers from outside, probably. And that's the kind of support. And if you can get additional support, like a community, like a coach, nothing like it. But I think you're right, Palak. You have to support yourself first. So thank you for
Hmm.
sharing that. Shonali, if you would like to also just talk about that, what is one thing that you would tell yourself or on somebody else who's on the cusp or the beginning?
So for me, I think it was very imperative to, I wanted the quality of my life to get better, and I didn't want to be stuck where I was, and hence, taking charge of my health. And I'm glad that I landed. Okay, now, okay, let's talk beyond the confines of the program. If someone's looking to, bring about, turn a corner in their health, and it's important. I again repeat that, as a woman, so much is hinged on you. It affected my professional life, my life with my family life. There was nothing else beyond just feeling tired, and so I think we've got to take charge of that, and you have to take ownership of your health, and always waiting for someone else from outside to come and tell you that this needs to be done. Then it gets difficult. One can even ask what happens beyond the confines of a program. I'll fall off the wagon. That's what this program does, and that's the difference of this program, is that you will not fall off the wagon because you know yourself better. You've got the toolkit. So for everyone who's listening here, even I was there a few months ago wondering what's the toolkit all about. But believe me, the toolkit is all about knowing your body and knowing yourself. As generic as this may sound, um, so generalized I sound, like, listen to your body and all of that. But your body becomes your best friend and your biggest guide. I'm 1 month away from completing. I mean, I've completed the program. 1 month after that, there were times I would feel like getting back to Anandita and telling her things, but I just listened to what my body was telling me, and then you get the answers. Where are you going wrong? So you will get the answers. You'll have to make a little tweaks and shift here and there, and then you'll be back on track again. So that's the advantage, the bonus. I don't know what about this program. That's what it does. It gives you that. It empowers you. Actually, I know, as loose a word that we use, often empower, but it actually empowers you. You will not need anyone else after that. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Thank you,
your
Shonali.
body will be your biggest guide.
The body is, yeah, it's always been, and we know that intuitively when we are small children, babies, toddlers, we forget it. So it's like a reminder. It's like reminding ourselves all over again. It's not that we didn't know this. We knew, all of us knew this when we were very small children, but the conditioning and etc. and other things and our life experiences, we forget. So it's like remembering, reminding ourselves. So Shonali, thank you for putting it so beautifully. And Shonali and Palak is here in the session, but Shonali is going to be here for another 5-10 minutes. So if you have any specific questions for her, you can put it in the chat, so that we can get going with the presentation. Thank you again, Palak and Shonali, for sharing some of these insights, because I think it's important. I mean, I keep sharing my insights all the time, but it's also important that we hear from others as well, and it really helps. It really helps. As I said, I wish I had some such people sort of giving me these kind of insights and encouragement and hope when I had started. So thank you once again. As I said, Shonali is here. If you want, if you're watching it on replay, you can also put in the comments below. I will be reposting this on Facebook, since the Facebook stream is not working today. I'll be posting the recordings. If you're watching it on replay, you can still put it comments below, and I will make sure that I get back to you. So thank you. I will just get back to the slides now so that we can keep going. Okay, so this is where we are, because a lot of people are actually stuck here, right? And this is where we were stuck. This is Shonali's story, this is Palak's story, this is my story. And Today you see me standing in front of you, hosting this masterclass live series, educating you. I'm considered one of the authorities on autoimmunity in India. I was, on the Indian Association of Functional Medicine Summit conference. So I am doing all of this, and especially I'm amazed by all the heartfelt feedback that I receive from all my clients, like Shonali, like Palak. You will hear from Naila a bit later on today. She's recorded a video for you. So I'm always humbled and still amazed by the transformation that my clients see even after all these years. But again, not too long ago, this is not how it was. Not too long ago, I remember that we were struggling. I was confused. I didn't know where to, what to do next. I didn't know, what would happen the next day. So by that time, my daughter was already on oral steroids and immunosuppressive medications for almost a couple of years. She was only 7 years old, and life for us was filled with doctor visits. Life for us was filled with antibiotics, medicines, weekly visits. Because she was on immunosuppressive medication, she used to have weekly blood draws. Right? Imagine your child having a weekly blood draw. It's so. This is where we were, and it was not too long ago. And I was filled with doubt and self worry and worry, self doubt and worry that uh, you know uh, this would not get better, right? And I was exhausted because the emotional toll that it took on all of us was a lot, especially when you don't really see, right at the beginning, the light at the end of the tunnel. But I refused to give up hope. I refused to give up hope, even if it meant that I would have to, look for answers for the rest of my life. Right? That's what I think. Having a child who is in pain and suffering does that to you. But I want it to be true for you too. So for me, it was almost a year of research that I came across Dr. Amy Myers. I still remember those three functional medicine practitioners: Dr. Amy Myers, Dr. Mark Hyman, and Dr. Teddy Walls. And that's what gave me the courage. That's what gave me some hope, a glimmer of hope. This was way back in 2014, I'm talking about. And when I heard how Dr. Teddy Walls had gone from being in a wheelchair because of a progressive and degenerative multiple sclerosis to start walking and running again, that gave me hope. Dr. Mark Hyman's story gave me hope, and Dr. Amy Myers. And today, I don't want you to go away from this week, this masterclass series, believing in something that is not true. That is, you can't get better, right? Believing in something like that your body is betraying you. I don't want you to go from this masterclass series with these kind of misconceptions. And I don't certainly don't want you to be stuck in a disease merry-go-round, going round and round in circles, where so many of us are, at some point in our life. Your body knows what to do. Your body knows how to heal itself, but it needs your support and your compassion and your love. And that's what we're talking about today. And I hope that these 3 days will open your eyes to different possibilities, because this is the question that we typically ask ourselves, that, will I ever recover from this? How long will it take me? How can I help myself? And that's the reason I brought in Palak and Shonali at the beginning, because I want you to hear from them that yes, you can recover from this. You can get better. There are ways, for you to. There are paths for you to take. And today I am going to be sharing such an opportunity right at the end of the presentation. So make sure that you are there. If you're watching this on replay, this opportunity is there for you till Monday, 8th of April. So don't worry. And I'll be sending out mails, so you'll have ample time to decide and see what is right for you. Because why me? What's wrong with me? I should have known better. All these kind of thinking, this kind of criticism is what keeps us stuck. And I don't want you to remain stuck anymore, right? If there's nothing, I mean, even if whether you join the program, whether you go for the opportunity or not, I want there to be a shift in your mindset. I want there to be a shift in the way that you think about your health, about your body specifically, right? Because a lot of times this is where people remain stuck. And this is what we call in coaching inner critic versus inner coach, right? And as coaches, as Palak will also testify, we are taught to be coaches for ourselves first. It's like saying that, I want to teach somebody swimming, but I don't know how to swim. I mean, I can read all the books about swimming, but unless physically get into the water and actually start doing laps or swimming, I can't teach somebody else, right? So as coaches, we are trained to look for these things, to become coaches for ourselves first. And I think it's this was one of the biggest benefits of my training that I'm sharing with you, because it's helped me personally, right? It's of course helped my clients, but it also helped me. And this is something that I actually do with all my clients, moving from an inner critic mindset to an inner coach mindset, right? And I will be doing such activities inside the program, but it's all about moving from a problem oriented mindset to a solution, moving from a fixed mindset that nothing can change, nothing can get better, to a growth mindset. I believe I can change. It's not over yet. There's a big shift, and these shifts make a huge difference in your life, right? Afraid of change, right? Change is going to take place whether you like it or not. Being afraid of it is just keeping you stuck. So an inner coach mindset basically makes you open to change, right? Because typically what is missing from most people's, I think I move forward a bit. 1 second. Yeah, typically what is missing from most people's, and I call it a toolkit for a reason, is compassion, self-care, and community. And all three, so my coaching program had compassion and self-care, my 1:1 program that I have been doing for the last 7 years. Compassion runs through, and I actually specifically, this is self-compassion, compassion for yourself. Self-care forms one of the three pillars of my three-pillar framework that I use, and it also forms a part of the model that I'm going to talk about, renew model. But the community angle was missing, and this opportunity that I'm sharing with you, this group program, is going to plug that gap. So the community is what I'm bringing in this time, because I think, as I mentioned, and as Palak mentioned, and Shonali, just having someone who's listening to you, but also having a community of like-minded people on a similar journey, travelers on the same path, can make a huge difference. Like, it helps you to stay on track, it helps you to feel inspired, it gives you a lot of insights when you hear other people, right? When you hear other women who are also going through the same thing, you don't feel so alone, because there is another way, right? And I think by day 3, if you've been watching all 3 days, even if you're on replay, this much you have understood, that there is a way to get better, and it starts by listening to yourself, listening to your body. Because this is not the entire toolkit, but this is the toolkit that I was talking about. It's not so much of a physical toolkit as it is a mental and emotional toolkit, but I think that's where we get stuck the most, right? The physical toolkit is much easier to deal with. It's your diet, it's your menu, it's the supplements, it's the lab testing. That's kind of your physical toolkit. And of course, that is there. And I provide all of that for my clients. But I think what gets missed out is this toolkit, because this is what's going to keep you and help you stay on track. It's not about getting well for 6 months or 3 months and then sliding right back where to started, right? So self-compassion, empathy. I talked about positive mindset, growth mindset, self-awareness, calm, courage, character strengths. I think Palak mentioned character strength. So you will hear all of my clients talking about all of this. These are the toolkits that I have. So I would just like to hear from you, if you can put in the comments below before we keep moving forward. What's one tool that you would like to use going forward? And it may be from this, it may be from something else. It can be any mental or emotional tool that you can think that you can benefit from. It can be gratitude, it can be gratitude journaling, mindfulness. It can be some of these things that I talked about, the courage, building resiliency. So what is one tool that you would like to use moving forward? And this is also there in the workbook. So if you are not able to do it right now, I would highly recommend that you go through the today's session, and then jot down your thoughts in the workbook. The workbook is just to cement your thinking, right? Whatever you are learning here on day 1, day 2, and day 3, the workbook is just going to help you. When we write things down, it becomes clearer for us, it gives us more clarity, it becomes more real. That's a reason, we it always makes sense to write those important things down, whether it's in a journal or in a workbook, right? So if you can share one tool, I will keep moving forward. So I don't want to hold you back for long. You can share it in the group. As I said, if you're watching it on replay, you can share it in the comments below. Because I want you to understand that this is key to actually see the transformation that you want. I think again by day 3 you've understood we're talking about transformative healing, not just healing, not just getting cured, right? This is how this is a very different way of dealing with chronic conditions, and this is highly effective, and I think this is what is sustainable. So what you like about your body, what you don't like about your body, right? The common humanity is that all of us have issues, right? Even the most perfect specimen of human body anatomy, even there will be some issue that is there. It's not constant, it's not static. So give yourself compassion for the difficult emotions that you might be facing. This is just a snapshot of something that is there in my coaching, and that's why I just thought I'll share the slide here, because compassion is often what is really really missing. Like you have been doing everything else right, right? You've been doing your diet right, you have been doing your supplements right, your exercise, and everything else, but it's about doing, it's not about being. And there is this suffering because we are here because we have some health issues, right? So then that compassion has to come in, and I love this quote. And there is this book, The Mindful. Oh, I'll have to just let you know what the book is. It's on self compassion by the same author, Christopher K. Gurmer. The brilliant book on, I think, the mindful path to self compassion is what his book is called. Like it really opened my eyes when I read this book several years ago. It opened my eyes, and actually this was the book that has that made me sort of integrate compassion into my coaching program. It did not happen on day one. It has happened gradually, but this was the book that opened my eyes. A Mindful Path to Self Compassion. It's called, Christopher K. Gurmer. So you can check it out, because it can literally change your life, right? Because again we get hung up on self care, because, and this is again something not spoken about. Self care is spoken about separately, right? It's like a separate thing, activity that you need to do. It's not. It has to be a part of your day to day life, right? That's the first thing. It is not selfish, it is not indulgent, it is not luxury, and doesn't need to be time consuming. Self care can look like these mini breaks in your day. I had a client who was extremely busy, professional woman, and she had a lot of stress in her life, and she had no time. I mean, she had no time to do. Honestly, she really didn't have time to do, say, take a 45 minutes, yoga session or meditation, and she wasn't willing to do that. It's both lack of time, etc. She was not ready, but what she had was certainly 5 minutes in the day. So we actually brainstormed, and she came up. As I said, coaching is about you finding the answers within yourself. It's not about me telling you. Of course I'm guiding you, but I'm not telling you what to do. And she came up with these ideas that, okay, I can take these mini breaks in the day. So like 5 minute 5 minute 5 minute 5 minute breaks in the day. Just take a breather, just pause, maybe just do nothing, just sit there, listen to music, just this is self-care. That's self-care. It's not time consuming, right? Because again, many of us are conditioned to think that we need to be perfect. We need to do, and I, talk a lot about this, not in this presentation, but we need to be perfect. We need to do everything. We need to do all of it. I have been there. I think you will also be able to relate to it. And we don't want to ask for help. Help is might be seen as weakness, and maybe we've asked for help and support from the wrong person, and sometimes we've got rejected. That does not mean that we should not be asking for help and support. And as women we have a specifically, I mean, it may be for men as well, of course, but we have a problem, or at least I had a problem asking for help. And it's that also contributes to our issues, because honestly, you are the most important investment that you will make in your life, right? We talk about other investments, financial investments. We forget about the most important investment, that is ourselves. And I'm talking about not only our physical body, but our mental, emotional, and spiritual parts of ourselves as well. You have this, I don't know about future lifetimes, etc., or not, whether that works or not, but I certainly know that this is the life that we have on this planet, and it's a limited time that we have. So I would invest in myself, my mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, all of it, because this is the biggest investment. It's I find it to be very ironic that many of us end up actually splurging on these designer handbags. I do. I mean, I also have, but splurging on designer handbags, big cars and luxury cars and very, very, highly priced objects. But the food that we put in our body, it can be almost, it can be as probably highly processed crap food, right? A lot of times we do that, and I've spoken to people who are not willing to spend that extra money on their food, maybe do a bit of organic stuff, maybe move to more veggies or high quality products, but they have these fancy cars, they have these fancy clothes, designer bags. But the one body that they have in this lifetime, that one body that is their home and the only home that they will have in this lifetime, they are not taking care of, right? I mean, I find it very ironic and unfortunate, because we take it for granted. So anyway, so I'm just going to come back on track, because self-care is connected to your health, right? Your health requires consistent self-care practice. It's not about doing something on the weekend. I mentioned, I think on day one, that we talk about exercise, we think it's going to the gym. No, it's about moving your body constantly. I mean, in the sense, our body is designed to move. It's not designed to sit still for 7 8 hours and then suddenly be exercising in the night just before going to bed. Actually, that's the worst time to exercise, because it raises your cortisol levels and you don't get proper sleep at night. Better time is to do it, in the first half of the day. So anyway, so all of that, and then, so this is consistent. It has to be consistent, and there's certain things that I talk about: rituals, morning rituals, evening rituals, that actually brings that consistency in a beautiful way, right? Without having to make it into another to-do list for you. And it's, again, self-care activities, but you need to prioritize it. It's not going to happen on its own. It has to be on your calendar, just like you put in your child's appointment with the doctor, your appointment with the doctor. The same thing, you have to put on these things in your calendar. It's not going to happen otherwise. And it means making different and healthier choices, right? So that's what health self-care means. And I'm going to talk about the renew model in a bit. That model actually, one of the aspects of that model is actually about self-care. And there is a book, and I think it's called The Extreme Self-Care. And that is where I came across this term, extraordinary mothering. And I love that word. How we take care of, like how I took care of my child. And I'm sure if you're a mother, you've done that, you are doing that rather. It's about extraordinary mothering, right? It's about being there for your child, no matter what, whatever your child needs. I want you to think about, like, do that for yourself now, for your body, for your mental health, for your emotional health, for your spiritual health, whatever ways that you need to support yourself. So, because in a world that we live in, which is so fast paced, which is filled with so much of distractions and busyness, I think even we need to be a bit more radical than we had to be maybe 100 years ago, 50 years ago. Our brains have actually not caught up with the developments, with the technology that has actually developed at such a fast pace, and we are sort of, there's an evolutionary mismatch, and we are struggling today. Our bodies are struggling, our brains are struggling with the kind of information overload that is there. So anyway, I will not digress from this topic, but I think sometimes we need to go against the conventional norms of health, right? So what is healthy for somebody else? Lack of sleep. So I am known to basically go to bed early on most days, and I've heard a lot of jokes about that. Oh, Tina, she's just acting like Anindita, right? My pet name is Tina. So actually, my friends sometimes will joke and say, "Oh, I said I don't want to, come out or go out on today, Friday night, or this weekend, because I've had a very hectic week and it's been quite stressful." And then I'll say, I just want to stay at home. I want to go to bed by 10:30, or read a book or something. And I'll be, jokingly told, "Oh, now you're just acting like Tina," right? That's my pet name. Because I'm going against the conventional health norms, right? We should be partying, we should be going out, we should not listen to our bodies, whether we are tired, whether we are stressed, doesn't matter. We need to be out there, right? That's not true. So that's why I talk about extraordinary mothering, and that's why I talk about radical self-care and going against the conventional norms. I'm just going to stop here for a minute. If you can just drop me an emoji, drop me a heart, if you sort of going with the flow, you understand what I'm saying. Anything that has stood out for you, I'm just going to take a minute here and pause and give you a chance to let me know in the comments. Just drop me a thumbs up so I'll know that you are here and I'm going at the right pace as well. And this is the second action step for today. So you can do it in the workbook at your own pace, but I wanted you to now start thinking about your path forward. So if you can write down ways how you can plan to commit yourself to your journey, big or small. So just write down um, in your journal, and you can share that. And if you're watching this on replay, as I said, you can share that in the comments. And if you can just let me know here below that you are getting what I'm saying, and you can um, understand and I'm going at the right pace. Okay. While you're putting your answers down, I want to talk about the approach that is that sort of I've been leading to this slide actually all this while. That it's an approach where you're guided by your own body. So I call it the body guided approach, where your body is your friend. Shonali talked about it. You've increased your level of awareness about your own body, and you've now started to support your body's healing process, because this is what I want you to stop doing. And I hope by now you have sort of got an idea that a lot of times, especially in the case of autoimmunity, what happens is that the message that we get from the media, because we don't know what's going on, we don't really know why autoimmunity is happening. So of course then we are confused, and we start thinking that we need to be at war with our bodies. We are suppressing the immune system, we are killing off cancer cells. It's like fighting infection. So while the words, we need to survive, that's okay. But I think sometimes these words can mislead us, right? And then we start thinking that it's a war that's going on. But you can't really be at peace if you're fighting with your own self, right? Which is the only home. And you have a choice. You have a choice to stop being at war, and you have a choice to listen to your body's whispers, because before your symptoms becomes a scream. Like I talked about yesterday and day before, that symptoms are a message from your body that something is wrong. Pay attention, and you don't want it to become a scream. So, but the first thing is that you need to stop being at war with your body. So this is where I want to again focus on. I keep talking about it again and again. If you can just share in one word or one sentence, what has been your key takeaway so far? And I'm going to get switch gears a bit and move into a bit of personalization and how that works, and why a lot of people don't see results, right? They are doing all the right things, but they don't really see the results. So if you can share below what your key takeaway has been. I'm just going to check whether the chat section is working. Okay. Yeah. So the Facebook did not work today, but if you're watching it on replay, and I'm making sure that it's there on Facebook. So if you can share what your key takeaway is, because what I want you to get from today's session is clarity about also the way that you need to think about your health, like your healing journey. The way that you need to think about your healing journey is, what does your body need to feel nourished, nurtured, and healthy, right? And it's not maybe something that you thought about earlier. What is something that you can do to support your body, right? This, I want you to change the approach that you have been taking so far, and even the language that you use with your body. I'm not going to get into the details here. It's, we don't have enough time to cover that. But the language that we, the way we talk to ourselves is very important. The way we think about our own bodies is very important. Everything affects everything else. Our thoughts affect our emotions, affect our body at a physical level, at an emotional. They're all interconnected. Like, it's a mind-body approach. That's why you're here, right? If medications were the only solution, then chronic illnesses would really go away. That's not how it works. And that's not how our body works. And the other thing that happens is that using a very genetic approach also doesn't really work, because the it's not really personalized for you, right? And the reason that does not work is because it does not really address the root causes, right? Because it's so generic. I mean, it's not customized enough for you. It's you're not taken into account the dietary and lifestyle changes that you need to make based on your own requirements, your own deficiencies, and what are your triggers. Like, your triggers in the sense of food intolerances, etc., will be different from somebody else's, right? So if it's not personalized enough, then that becomes a problem. It actually becomes a stumbling block. So, and because it is not personalized, you've not been able to lay a strong foundation for healing as well, right? So I have had clients who have worked with other functional medicine practitioners and then come to me and then figured out that, oh, okay, it was not personalized. So I had a client She's still in touch with me after 3 years. She worked with me for 6 months, and she was following a diet which was mostly raw, a lot of healthy smoothies and juices. And that was really bad for her digestion, because her digestion was in a very bad shape after years of antibiotics, years of oral steroids to manage her chronic diarrhea. And the last thing that her body needed was more stress in terms of raw foods, because it was not able to digest cooked foods, right? And then in her case, it had to be personalized, and I had to switch her completely to cooked foods, like in specifically blended foods to begin with, because her diarrhea was so bad. And that's the power of personalization, right? So because then you can actually start laying the foundation that is right for you, for your unique body's requirements. And it looks like this. So it can be eating hygiene, it is mindful eating. So you will see me talking a lot about the foundation, because without the foundation, the building can certainly not be very strong. It is the first and the most critical step for getting better, right? And this is often the place that we tend to overlook the most. So customizing your diet, nourishing beyond food. It's not just food, it's also savoring rituals. It's about daily routines. I've talked about movement, but also morning routines. It can be meditation, it can be yoga, So these are part of your healing foundation. And because the body cannot heal when it is in chronic survival mode. I have touched upon this briefly, but you need to understand how to create an environment in which your body's healing properties are in full gear. It cannot be in survival mode and be in repair and healing mode at the same time. It is just there are two different nervous system modes, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. So it cannot be on both modes at the same time. You will consciously have to make an effort to switch your body and your nervous system from the fight or flight mode to what we call is the rest and digest mode, or the relaxation mode, right? So you have to do that, otherwise it doesn't really work. And it's what happens is that there is a big emotional and mental toll that any kind of chronic condition takes on us. This is something that I learned, I mean, how to deal with when I was under so much of stress trying to deal with my daughter's health issues. All of you would be going through this. There is a toll that it takes. And our thoughts, our emotions, our body feelings, like there are these clues that tells you. So if you actually do a short body scan when you're feeling very stressed, and you start then figuring out, okay, there is that heaviness on my chest, right? There is that my heart is feeling very heavy. That's kind of a clue for you to understand, okay, there is something going on. Let me do that. Let me relax. Let me take some deep breaths, right? So there's so many clues that are available to you, your thoughts, your emotions, and that's why it makes up your inner guidance system, right? You have to pay attention to that, and to pay attention to that, you have to make time for stillness. That's why meditation is so valuable. But even if you're not able to meditate per se, you can actually bring in moments of stillness, that where self-care can also comes in. It can be something that you enjoy doing. It can be running, while that's not stillness, but something that you enjoy also gives you some calm, some courage, right? So that's your, because you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf, right? So this again is a part of your workbook, because I want you to now start thinking about your journey beyond your physical health issues, right? I want you to envision what is truly possible for you. You need to believe that it is possible before you can actually do something about it, right? So it starts with owning a healing journey. Your illness does not define you, right? That's not your diagnosis does not define you. It's not your identity, and you can lead a meaningful life in spite of your illness, right? That's what I want you to understand. And I think this slide is a beautiful way of bringing it all together, what I just mentioned. Being sick is not your fault, but if you want to get better, it has to be your responsibility. I love this quote. It's a beautiful way of putting across what I've been trying to share with you for the last 49 minutes. Amy B. Sher, I think she has an autoimmune condition, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's an actress, and she probably has multiple sclerosis. I'm not very sure. I actually forget, but I think it's a beautiful way of about talking about owning your healing journey. And this is something that I want to share This is Naila, who's still working with me. Actually, she's been working with me for a year or so, because I
So
think
my
it's.
name is Naila, and
Let me know if you can hear this. This is her story. I just want to share, just to give you some, inspiration.
I have suffered with various ailments, and most recently with an autoimmune with which I was struggling. And my daughter found Anindita and introduced me to her. And previously, I had worked with naturopaths in New York City, and I was working with a functional medicine doctor in London. And so I was already gluten free. I was already doing the things that I thought were right, but I just didn't feel that it was complete. I still was lost at times, and finding Anindita was put me in a path where she worked within my own dietary preferences, within my own cultural dietary patterns, and within what is available in the city that I live in, and how to manage my food and diet. And she never pushed me, and worked with me slowly till I was convinced that I needed to do certain things. And even though I've had lapses, she has always been encouraging and has worked like a friend when things were not going right. And at this point, I feel that she has given me the tools and to work with. She has taught me a lifestyle to work with an autoimmune situation, uh, and has given me things that I can work with. It's not overwhelming. It's a very slow progression, and I've come at this point. I feel that I am so much better equipped, and I'm very thankful to her for being there.
I just, it's a, I think you will hear the um, same kind of, I'm sharing this not just to, boast about myself and how great I am and how amazing the coaching program, which it is, but more importantly, because I want you to actually hear, I want you to visualize, envision what is truly possible for you, right? What kind of transformation is possible for you, no matter where you are in, in your life, in your health issue. So this possibility is what I'm, this picture is what I'm trying to paint for you, because I want you to think about where you will be in 9 months, right? At the end of this year. Like, you've already heard from Naila, you've heard from Palak, you've heard from Shonali in the last few days. And Naila's disease, she has issues going on. She has a couple of other conditions. There's a lot going on in her life, but her disease no longer controls her life, right? That's a success. It's not, as you know, as you've probably understood by now, chronic illnesses may not always go away, may not be completely reversible, right? That's true for many people. For others, they do. It depends on the situation, it depends on the damage, so many things, right? But it no longer controls her life. So she is better now. Palak believes in herself, she accepts herself, and she's working towards her goal. So she's become a health coach in the process. Now she's, joined my team and we're working together. That's her success story. And Shonali has transformed. Shonali also you heard about, she has transformed to become a vibrant, empowered version of herself. She calls herself Shonali version 2.0. And I love that, right? And one day in the future, I want to share and I will share your future success story. But the question I want you to ask yourself is, where will you be at the end of this year? Right? Where will you be? And I want you to think about it, because I want to share your success too. It's not just about Shonali, it's not just about Palak, right? And this is a path forward. So if you're ready to take that next step, I have a transformative opportunity for you, and I call it the transformative healing with the Renew model. And I'm so proud to stand before you and share this unique and powerful model that you've been hearing, all about, that made all of this possible, because it guides you in creating a sustainable and balanced lifestyle. Right? That's what we want. It needs to be sustainable. It needs to be a long-term solution. And I want it, it will help you reclaim the vitality and the joy. I've talked about vitamin J, I talked about vitamin P, vitamin J for joy, P for pleasure. So it's a complete health transformation. It's not about, it's of course about reversing symptoms. It's of course about diet and mindset and stress and all of it. But it's also about a complete transformation. It's about, I think by now you will see an underlying theme is your body's healing potential. It's about realizing that, and it's about identifying and removing any obstacles, right, including yourself, and nourishing your body. But that nourishment goes beyond food. Food is of course the biggest one. Food is medicine, but it goes beyond food. Lifestyle practices, self-care techniques. It's about embracing self-care and compassion, right? That's not something that you will see every day in many other healing modalities, because I think that that is going to help you to stay on track. It is going to help you to prioritize your emotional well-being. And the relationship that we have with ourselves is very, very, it's actually, that's the most important relationship that we have in our life. And this is not something that we are told about. This is what I'm trying to teach my 17-year-old daughter as she goes out into the world, starts college, that the most important relationship that you will have ever in your life is with yourself. You need to focus on that first, and every other relationship will be much better for it, right? And of course, walk the path of wellness. This is a transformative journey. It doesn't stop with the program ending in 12 weeks, or my clients stop working with me in 6 months. I want them to not only get well but stay well. And that's why you will hear the same terminology all of them are using, like the she's given me the tools. And the reason I'm giving them tools, and I want to give you tools, so that no matter when you're faltering, no matter where you are, 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, you will have these tools. Nobody can take them away from you. And it didn't matter how long back you had, been a part of a program, right? So you will have all the tools that you need to break free from the cycle of symptom management, and then actually embark on true healing. It's transformative, right? We want that. We don't want to slide back to where we were, not just because we stopped working with a practitioner. That's not what you want, right? And it's about also a personalized and comprehensive approach that goes beyond symptom management. And that's what we have been, that's why you're here, that's why you signed up for this masterclass, of course. And this is the roadmap that will get you there. This is the roadmap for your journey. This is meant for specifically or primarily for early stage autoimmune conditions, which is about 1 or 2 years, because that's will work best when the damage is minimal. But it will also help others down the line. But maybe we can have a call regarding that. So just to make sure that this is the right fit for you. But primarily early stage 1, 2, 3 years or so would be the perfect fit for this. But even with other chronic conditions, unexplained symptoms, maybe you suspect you have an autoimmune condition, right? So, and apart from what I've already mentioned in the renew model, these are some of the other things that, again, we don't get to hear much about. I mean, I certainly had issues with all of these that I'm going to mention, like the information overload. There's so much of information on Google, right? And there's in the digital age, it's a good thing, but it also can be a bad thing. And you're sort of kind of struggling to figure out what diet is right for me. What should I be doing next? Okay, I started taking probiotics. Now I'm feeling even worse, right? I have more bloating now. I started having millets. So I'm just giving an example, but that's too much information. So what the program does is it's a roadmap, it's a guide, and it filters out all the noise. I think that's becomes it's a big plus, because I wish that I had this kind of a roadmap when I got started 10 years ago. And of course, the lack of support, right? People may not really understand what you're going through. There's a reason why autoimmune conditions are called invisible illnesses. A lot of time the symptoms don't show on the surface, so people can't really understand and appreciate when you say that you are bone tired. That means I know that I've spoken to women who literally get up in the morning, take a bath, and then want to go back to bed because they're so exhausted, right? All the time. You're tired all the time. I think Shonali mentioned it yesterday. She used to be tired all the time. But it's very hard for a family member sometimes to understand what that tiredness is all about, right? So that support, but the community angle that comes in a program like this, there are 15 women who will be, doing this together, work together with me and Palak as their guides. That community, when you know that you're not doing it alone, there's somebody who understands you, what you are going through. That's a tremendous support, right? And it really helps to stay on track, as I mentioned. The other thing is, doing making changes, putting in new things in place, implementing. It's very hard. So if you have tools where you track the progress, you set reminder, you're doing it in a group where you get the accountability that you need. It's, that's why coaching is so effective. Let me put it this way: coaching is effective because it provides accountability, but the beauty is that in a program like this, the community itself provides the accountability. When you know that you have to be up, sort of show up in the next live training, and I'm going to talk about that exactly how the program is broken down. Then it really helps you to understand. I mean, it helps you to stay on track, right? You don't want to let anyone down, so you will actually end up doing some of the things that we discuss. And of course, the education part of it, which I hope that whether you join the program or not, I hope the last 3 days has given you a lot of information and created awareness. So now you know what you should be looking for. Now you know that there are ways to get better. So I hope that that itself should be valuable enough whether you sign up for a program or not, right? That was not the only intention. So this is where the program has launched today, and I'm going to share a bit more about the program. Manoj, if you can, or Palak, if you can just share the link for the program in the chat so that our audience can check it out. You have a huge opportunity to take charge of your own healing journey, and the best part is that it's all laid out for you, right? So if you're watching this on replay, don't worry. This program is available till Monday, the 8th of April. So you'll have enough time. I'm going to send out enough reminders, and we'll be sharing the link. It'll come also on email as well. So don't worry. And this is for you if you are willing to push beyond your fear, if you're willing to take the next step, and support your body's healing abilities, right? So again, there are only 15 slots available on a first come first serve basis. So make sure that you are signing up as soon as possible if you are looking to do that. I'm just going to check if there is any issue with the link. Yeah, so I'm just going to wait till Manoj or Palak put in the link here. But these are the modules inside the program. Manoj, the link for the program itself, right? aninditadungta.com/autoimmune relief. So link for the program, please. So module 1 is about, yes, thank you. Thanks, Palak. So the 15-minute video call is for those who are not very clear and may just want to schedule a call. And the other link that Palak has shared just now will give you all the details about the program that I'm taking you through. Any case, all of this will come on email. So if you're watching it on replay, that's absolutely fine. These are the modules where the first module is about understanding how the body can heal itself, and I hope these 3 days have given you a taste of that. Module 2 is about personalization again, so creating your personalized healing program. Module 3 is about strategies for adopting a holistic approach. So it's nourishment beyond beyond your diet, right? So these are the first 3 modules. There's 6 modules. Each module lasts for a couple of weeks. So it's a 12-week program, if I haven't mentioned that already. Then module 4 is where actually you will learn specific self-care practices that moves you beyond symptom management within the Renew model that I already spoke to you about. Module 5 is where the compassion, self-care of all of it comes together. You will be doing all of this over the first 8 to 10 weeks, but this is where it all comes together, because towards the end I'm going to keep giving you different tools to help you stay on track, no matter even in the future, right? Again, these are tools that will be given to you. I don't want you to get better in 12 weeks and then sort of flight back, right, when the 12 weeks are over. So walk the path of wellness. There will be 2 weekly live group coaching sessions each week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. All these details will be shared. They're already there on the page that has been shared with you. There'll be handouts, there will be workbooks and resources. So all that you need to actually implement what I have been talking about, you will find all of it. It's going to be there on Kajabi. That is the course platform. The live trainings will be via Zoom so that it is more interactive, which is why it's a very small, if you notice, it's a small intimate group. It's a small intimate community, and there is a community angle to help you support and do all of this, right? And because you're not alone in this journey, and that's what I want you to know, you're not alone. You will get the support from not only from me and Palak, but you will also get the support from your fellow co-passengers or co-travelers. And it's a comprehensive, guided and tailored strategy that focuses on your unique needs, and there is a level of personalization that is there as well. Before that, this is the investment that you need to make. If you are ready, one time payment or 1 lakh rupees, 1,40,000, or three payments each of rupees 60,000, right? So there is obviously you save 40,000 when you pay in full. All these details are on the page, so you can just head there, and then go through that. It will also be coming to you on email. This is the investment that you're making for yourself, because this is my commitment to you. That is your investment in your own health, and this is my commitment to you, that I want you to take action, and I will make sure that you are taking the action, but with compassion and confidence, right? So I don't want you remaining stuck in a disease merry-go-round even for one more day. I want you to take charge of your health, and I want to show you how, teach you how, guide you, empower you, right? And a lot of this will also come from yourself, your within, because you will be guided by your own body as you are doing this. This is my commitment that you will see results if you will show up for the live trainings, if you will go through this program. There is no way that you cannot see results, because your body knows what needs to be done. You just have to be there to support it in the right manner, and you will learn how to do that, right? So that is how it is. These are the important dates for the program. The cart opens today. I've already mentioned that 3rd of April. You have time to think it through. I'm also going to share with you a few bonuses that are there. This is not all. I'm just going to move to that. It closes on the 8th of April, Monday, 6 p.m. I already mentioned, but since there are only 15 slots available, it's on a first come, first serve basis. So if you're convinced, then you can just sign up today. Or if you're still debating, you can schedule a clarity 15-minute free video call where I will talk with you, and there are a few questions you need to answer, and we can just have a chat. And then maybe you will have the clarity that you need to decide. If you're watching this on replay, again, you have time. We'll be sharing all these links via email, so that you have ample opportunity to take advantage of this and see for yourself and decide what your next step should be, right? We've shared the links below. So if you, once you get off the call, if you want to schedule a free 15-minute video call, you can do that. But there is also a Q&A coming up tomorrow. A Zoom link will be shared, so that if you can actually speak to me one-on-one rather than here. So I'm going to share that as well. So the first bonus is about change. It's a beginner's guide to creating personalized wellness. And I find that a lot of people get stuck here with change. We are not really taught how to be open to change, how to set smart goals, and what are smart goals, and why it is so effective in seeing results. So this is a mini course that will take you through all that. This is bonus number 1. And bonus number 2 is, a lot of us believe that we don't have the time. So I have created this mini bonus specially for you. Again, it's a mini course as a bonus specially for you. It's a time saver toolkit, right? And it'll help you to understand how to take out time for yourself, create more time, because nobody can give you more than 24 hours, right? So this is all about changing your way you're looking at time and your relationship with time. So it's very different from the productivity tools that you typically come across. It's not a productivity tool. It goes much beyond that. And bonus number 3, I think, is a big one. It's the 1:1 coaching session bonus that is going to be there. It's going to come in week 3 and week 4. I'm going to break it up in 2 weeks, because when we get started, you will have ample opportunity to get personalized solutions from me in the group coaching calls itself. If you notice, it's a small group in any case. Plus, you get to ask me questions inside Kajabi. And then we also have a 1:1 coaching call for 60 minutes in week 3 and 4, because that's where the personalization is coming in the module itself, right? So I've timed it that way, because there we will come together and create a personalized roadmap for you. And you will have, again, opportunities to ask me questions. There will be a fixed office hours. Most likely, I think every Monday I'm planning, wherein you can actually hop in and ask me a question and then hop off, right? So you'll have ample opportunities throughout the week to get personalized advice apart from the group coaching sessions, where we will have a hot seat where you can come in for 10 minutes. Each person can come in from 10 to 15 minutes and get coached by me, one is to one, right? So there are multiple opportunities and multiple layers that you have to actually get personalized advice, and that's why this is going to be so effective. And the last bonus that I want to share is a fast acting bonus. It's only for the first 7 women who sign up for this program. It's called Empowerment Starter Kit. Get started with confidence. I don't think you can see that properly. It's up, it's going to give you these day to day, one small action steps that you can take each day. So like for 5 days, uh, till the coaching starts in full swing, so that you can actually, you get started with confidence, with feeling uh, uh, confident and super happy to motivated to get started, right? These are small but mighty wins that can help you to get started on a very high note, which is why I've kept it as a fast acting bonus. This will come to you every day, on Kajabi, so you can just get ready to dive in each day. And finally, we are at the end of our presentation for today. Finally, I want to leave you with this beautiful poem by Donna Ashworth. And I'm going to answer a few questions. We don't have much time today, but I'm going to share with you a few questions, answer a few questions. You can start jotting down the questions if you want. But I'm just going to read out a bit of this poem here. It's called The Wave the White Flag by Donna Ashworth. There are many choices available to us women in this life. But when it comes to your body, there are only two: accept it or don't. You see, if you choose to accept your body, you will soon start to love it, admire it, look after it. These things all follow in the wake of your acceptance. When you realize that this vessel for your soul, for your spirit, is an instrument of such high design and fine tuning that it boggles the mind to even think about, you will enter into a phase which I like to call peace at last. You will care nothing of spare fat, gray hairs, loose skin. You will realize eventually that the body's purpose is not to look good, to attract friends, partners, successes. It is, in fact, your spirit which does all those things. If you would only allow it to shine through and work its magic. Your body, my friends, has but one job: to see you safely through this adventure of life. That is it. If you're on the path of not accepting your body, you're in for a very long battle against an enemy you have no power to defeat: nature, time, biology, fate. You don't have the weapons to fight those powers. Wave the white flag, give in, accept. It is then that your life will truly begin. I think this sums up what I've been talking about, the body guided approach. So if you have any questions, you can drop them here. I will take a few questions and I will be coming back for the Q&A session tomorrow at the same time. I'll be sharing a Zoom link for that, not StreamYard. So make sure that you're joining the Zoom link. Otherwise, you can make the payment and secure your spot, or you can schedule a 15-minute free video call to find out more. And that's it. And then you can, you follow the program and you start seeing the results. It's actually as simple as that. May not be easy, but it's simple, and you have all the guidance that you need. So there are, as I mentioned, there are some bonus Q&A sessions that's going to happen tomorrow and day after. I'll be sending out these links on email. So if you have any questions, I'm going to be here for the next 5-10 minutes. You can drop them here. Drop them in the comments below. If you're watching this on replay, then you can still drop in your questions in the comment below, or email them to me, or you can schedule a link, a 15-minute video call. You have a lot of options. No matter what questions you have, you can check out, of course, the details of the coaching program. I'm hosting a live Q&A tomorrow and day after, so I'm going to be there to answer all your questions, and I have a special guest joining us tomorrow for the Q&A. You can, sort of get a better sense of what you can expect from a program like this. So I'm just going to take a moment to give you a moment to ask your questions if you have any right now, or if you would prefer to send me an email, reply to the email, or get onto the Facebook group and ask your questions, or schedule a weekly, sorry, a 15-minute video call. You have lots of options. So I'm just going to give you a minute to, and if you're watching it on replay, as I said, just make sure that you drop in your questions here or email me or share them in the Facebook group. I'm going to put up a post there so that you can get your questions answered. Any questions that you have about what I have shared with you, you can ask them now, or you can also share them in the Facebook group. I'm going to put up a post there, or you can reply to the mails that you get from me. So just let me know. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the first Q&A. If you have any questions, or you can schedule the call, we've shared the link here. The mail will go out to you in some time with all these links, so you can take your own time, go through that, and yeah, and I'll see you inside the program.